In this lecture, let's see how to use jQueryUI's spinner widget to enhance text inputs for entering numeric values. So, using jQueryUI's spinner widget, you can accept numeric inputs in an easy way. So, to illustrate this, let me create an input element with ID, my spinner, and type text. So, this will be a text box in fact, isn't it? Let's see that. Save. See, it is a normal text box. So, in order to make this a spinner element, it is very easy. You just have to access it. So, $mySpinner.spinner. This will convert the text box into a spinner element. Let's see that. Save. Refresh. See, this is a spinner element. I can use the up and down arrows to increase and decrease the values. Let me click the up arrow. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I click the down arrows, it is 4, 3, 2, 1 like that. Now let's see some of the options and methods that can be used with jQueryUI's spinner widget. So when we click, it is incrementing by 1, right? You can use the step option to change it. That is the size of the step the spinner should take on each click. So let me specify step to be 5. Now let's see what happens. Let me refresh. Suppose the value is 0. Let me click this. It is incremented by 5. See, 10, 15, 20, 25 like that. And if I click the down arrow, it will be reduced by 5. So using the step option, you can decide the size of each step. Now suppose you want to display some different icons instead of this up and down arrows. What you can do? You can use the icons option, and it is an object in which you can specify icons for up and down. So let's see that. Let me put a comma, and the name of the option is icons, which is an object. So you can specify values for up in double quotes, comma, down also in double quotes. So let me try to get some icons from this web page, that is api.jQueryUI.com/theming/icons. For up arrow, let me have UI icon plus, and for down arrow, let me have UI icon minus. So let me copy this, and for up, let me specify UI icon plus, and for this UI icon minus. Now let's see, save, refresh. See, you are seeing a plus and minus icon instead of up and down arrows. So you can use the icons option in order to change the default icons. Next, there are two different options. They are min and max. This can be used to set the min and max values of the spinner. But you can of course enter values using keyboard that cannot be controlled. But you can use min and max options to set the minimum and maximum values that can be set using the up and down arrows. Okay. So let me set the min to be say 0 and max to be 100. Now let's see the difference. Let me refresh. Now it is 5. It is 90, 95, 100. If I click plus, nothing will happen. Now I am clicking the plus sign. Still the value is not getting increased. Suppose I click the minus icon. Okay. We have set the minimum to be 0. So it will not go beyond 0. Okay. So 5, 0. I am again clicking the minus icon. Still the value is 0. But using keyboard, I can enter whatever value I want. It is 500 I have entered. But if I click plus, it will go back to 100. If I click minus, it is 80 now. Suppose I enter it as 800 and click the minus, it will still go back to 100. So it can't go beyond 0 and 100 using the plus and minus icons, whereas you can enter any value using the keyboard. Okay, so now we have seen 4 different options. They are step, icons, min and max. Now along with this, let me introduce you to 3 different methods that are step up, step down and is valid. So let me add 3 buttons for that. Button ID equals btn step up, and the label be step up. And similarly for step down as well, I want to have a button btn step down, and let the label be step down. And finally another button for is valid, id equals btn is valid, and let the label be is valid. Okay, and on the click of the button $btn step up dot click function, and within this let me call the step up method. Okay, so being a method, I need to have it within double quotes. Okay, the name of the method is step up, and suppose I specify 5 as the step up. Now what will happen when we click this button? The value will be incremented by 5 steps, or let me change this to 2 to avoid confusion. So it will be incremented by 2 steps. One step is equal to 5, so 2 steps means 2 into 5. So the value will be incremented by 10. So let's see that. Save, refresh. Let me change this value to 10 for the time being, and let me click the step up. See, it is incremented by 10. That is, if we call the step up method and specify the number of steps to be taken, then that many steps will be incremented. As we have specified 2 here, 2 into 5, 10 is incremented each time. Suppose I change this to 3, what will happen? It will be incremented by 3 into 5, that is 15. Let's see that. Let me refresh. If I click the step up, it should be 45, right? See, it is 45. Next it will be 60, 75, like that. Similarly, we can have step down as well. So let me copy this. Okay, change this to step down, and the name of the method is also step down. And suppose I want to set the value as 2. So what will happen? It will be reduced by 10 when we click the step down button. So let me refresh. Now the value is 75. Suppose I click step up, it will be 90. See, and if I click step down, it will be 80 because it is 2 into 5. 80, 70, 60, like that. So we have seen 2 methods. They are step down and step up. Next, let us see the is valid method. I have already told you that though we can set min and max values, the user is allowed to enter any value using the keyboard. So the is valid method can be used to check whether the entered value is between the min and max values set. So here we have set min to be 0 and max to be 100. And suppose I enter 500. It is okay, it is allowed. But using the is valid method, we can check whether this value is within the specified or allowed range. So after this, let me write $btn is valid, and on its click, I want to check whether it is valid or not. If it is valid, it will return true, and if it is not valid, it will return false. So let me save it in a variable is valid. Being a method, we need to specify it within double quotes. So the name of the method is valid, and for the time being, let's just try to display is valid. That is either true or false. Let's save it. Save, refresh. Let me click is valid. See, false, which means it is not a valid value, or it is not within the range 0 and 100. Suppose I change this to 50 and click is valid. See, it is returning true, which means the value entered is within the range. Suppose I click plus, it is moving by 5 because we have specified the step to be 5, right? And if I specify plus again 60, 65, 70, and if I check is valid, it will return true. Okay, so is valid can be used to check whether the value is within the specified min and max values. Now let's see one more option and 2 more methods in this lecture. So the option is page, and it decides the number of steps to be taken while using the page up and page down methods. So suppose I set the value of page to be 2, and let me add 2 buttons after this, that is button id equals btn page up, and let the label be page up, and similarly let me have another button for page down, button id equals btn page down, and let the label be page down. And on the click of page up, that is $#btn page up, let me add click, and within this function, and suppose I call the page up method. So let me copy this and change this to page up. That is the name of the method. And if I specify 2, what will happen is that it will move 20 upwards. That is, the value of page is 2, the value of step is 5. So for each page there will be 10, and we are specifying page up to be 2. So 10 into 2, 20 will be the up value. Let's see that. Save, refresh. Suppose the value is 10 and I click page up. See, the value is incremented by 20. Again 20, 50. 50 plus 20, it will be 70. It will go like that. Okay, so it will be, in effect, it will be step into page into this value. Similarly, we can have page down as well. So we need to change this to page down. That is the ID of the button. And here also it is page down. And suppose I change this to 4. Okay, then what will be the value? Decremented by, it will be 5 into 2, 10. 10 into 4, 40. So what happens here? The page down method actually decrements the value by the specified number of pages. Okay, so here it is 4 pages. So in effect it will be 5 into 2 into 4, that is 40. Let's see that. Let me refresh. Let me click page down. So 70 minus 40 means it will be 30. See, it is 30. Suppose I click page up, it will be 50. And if I click page down, it will be 10. 50 minus 40. So in this lecture, we have seen a number of options and methods. The different options we have discussed are step, icons, min, max, and page. And different methods we have seen are step up, step down, is valid, page up, and page down. Using icons, you can have different icons for the up and down. Min and max can be used to set the minimum and maximum allowed values. Step can be used to specify how much should be incremented or decremented. Page can be used to specify the number of pages. And the step up method is used to decide the number of steps to be incremented at a time. Step down, the number of steps to be decremented at a time. Is valid is used to check whether the value in the spinner is valid or not. That is, whether it is within the range min and max. Page up and page down methods are used to increment the value by specified number of pages. So in this lecture, we have seen 5 different options and 5 different methods.